It's current year, and tomorrow is the second annual purge. Break out the shotgun and crack open a grenade, or cower in the attic with your grandma. After last year's purge on March 21st, 2017, many people exist who have adopted the banner of anti-purger, and that adamantly refuse to purge. There exists, within the group, a subset of anti-purgers who have less moral scruples about purging, but due to their high sense of social awareness, still refuse general purging on the basis that if they purge, then people might not like them anymore. This conflict between a psychological desire to purge and a sociological desire to be seen as a good person collided and resulted in a new movement that began several months ago in preparation for the second purge, or Purge 2, Purge Less Hard this time please, as anti-purgers have called it. And that movement is none other than MetaPurge. What is MetaPurge? As the Facebook page so concisely puts it, MetaPurge is a group of anti-purgers purging purgers who've purged and protecting anti-purgers who purge purgers or don't purge at all. In other words, they want to go around killing people who chose to purge last year in the first purge and to protect those who choose not to purge. They're eating their purge cake and having their not a purger cake too. How does MetaPurge select its targets? As of yet, there is no public database of purgers to be seen, although rumor has it that Google has one, and so does the FBI and various other unrelated organizations that somehow have all managed to hack the same phone companies to get GPS coordinates, passive audio recording in secret by people's phones, and also video footage from anyone who hasn't yet put tape over their iPhone video cam on the front and on the back. So since MetaPurge doesn't have anyone competent enough to steal the same information from the same source, or even steal the same information from one of the many sources that have stolen it already, they get their own incomplete list of purgers based upon Instagram posts and live leak videos. Unfortunately for members of Team MetaPurge, there are some stray purgers who are offended at the idea of the MetaPurge and are pushing back against both purging of explicitly other purgers, note, purging of other purgers who aren't part of the MetaPurge. The MetaPurge doesn't purge members of the MetaPurge, and of protecting non-purging anti-purgers. They also ask the meaningful question, hey, what about all those pro-purge non-purgers who peacefully sit on their couch and write think piece YouTube video content about how good the purge is even though they themselves don't participate? Do you purge them, they who have not purged, or does your protection only extend to non-purging anti-purgers? These angry purgers have threatened to, and in fact already have, started devising their own metagroup called MetaPurge, set to go into action during the third annual purge in 2019, where their goal is to purge MetaPurgers who purge purgers, and also to purge non-purging anti-purgers, while protecting non-purging pro-purgers, and also just generally purging whoever else they feel like, in a similar way that a non-meta-meta-purge, regular non-meta actual purger might see fit to go about doing. Meanwhile, an interesting point was raised about the nature of the manifesto of the MetaPurger group, namely the part about protecting non-purging pro-purgers. These pro-purge purgers, in response to how the MetaPurgers protect certain non-purging anti-purgers, have now begun to protect a group of the population, namely non-purging pro-purgers. Even though, before becoming the MetaPurge, these people who were as just regular purge participants always would never protect anyone from the purge. So due to their disgust about the MetaPurge explicitly protecting some people from the purge and not others, these people who hate protection now wish to protect certain other people that the MetaPurgers don't necessarily want protected. Members of the MetaPurge see this as a victory, for at the end of the day, regular purgers purge purgers and MetaPurgers alike and protect nobody. All MetaPurgers do is what regular purgers do, but also protect some of the population, namely non-purging pro-purgers. So because of this development, more of the population is being protected from the purge, thus seemingly painting the pro-purge MetaPurgers as actually a semi-anti-purge group, even though the MetaPurgers are the most vehemently opposed to any and all purge-related protection programs. Ironic, to say the least. It is yet to be seen whether or not the MetaPurgers will exist as an idea long enough to even enact any specific purging of MetaPurgers, due to the fact that already there seems to be a ripple opening up within the group among its members. Notably, the question was raised that while the purgers purge non-purgers and purgers alike, MetaPurgers purge non-meta-purging purgers only, but shall the MetaPurgers take special aim not to purge other meta-purgers? And if so, how are the meta-purgers any different from any other generic purging group that doesn't describe itself to be meta? Half of the meta-purgers reason that they mustn't purge other meta-purgers, or else there's no meaning to being a meta-purger to begin with. and the other half reason that they mustn't not purge meta-meta-purgers, or else there's not meaning to being a meta-meta-purger to begin with. One audacious woman took to the internet, claiming to neither be involved with the meta-purgers or the meta-meta-purgers, and created her very own movement called Meta-Meta-Meta-Purge, barring anyone from entry and saying that it only exists to purge anyone in either the meta-purger or meta-meta-purger group, or really any purge group with meta in the name. She has taken the motto, "This is getting a bit silly, please shut up and taste my sword." The response has been swift and certain, the consensus reaction being, if that's your goal, then why don't you kill yourself? Due to the inherent contradiction in wanting to purge anyone in any metagroup related to purging, while also creating their own metagroup related to purging, she has responded that it doesn't count because this isn't a metagroup if there's only one person in it. Whether or not other self-declared meta-meta-meta-purgers springing up left and right qualifies the meta-meta-meta-purger lifestyle as a group or a not a group is yet to be seen, but both the meta-purger and meta-meta-purger group agree that at the very least, more than two metas at the beginning of a name cannot be tolerated.